Okay, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bruno Lecointe. I'm working for a company called Eviden that probably some of you knows, but a lot of people doesn't know. I will clarify that because this is something totally new to a lot of people. So in fact, my role is to be in charge of what we call pre-sales benchmark, center of excellences, mean the collaboration we can do with some of you or with some partners, and we do that, for example, with DDN. And I'm in charge of something which is quite sensitive. When there is a tender, at the end, the pricing optimization, because we need always to optimize the price. DDN was asking me to present why we are used to work with them and why we like to work with them, and I will introduce that, but especially I will give more time to some people which will be much more interesting than I, the customers, and you will see. Quickly, to explain you Eviden. So in fact, you know Atos, probably you know Bull, Atos. In May 22, we decided to split the company in two companies. The first one will remain Atos, the second one will remain Eviden. So when I came, some people were asking me what will be the difference, what's happened, how it will be. To make it simple, Atos dynamic in terms of business was services. The dynamics about Bull acquired by Atos was on product development, cybersecurity development, HPC development. It was much more a product company, and we will move to Eviden. So it will be two separated companies. And the nature is well done because, in fact, the split was mostly half for everything. We will do 5 billion. We will be 57,000 people. We are 110 today with the Atos group. And we will cover 6 segments, but the most important one will be the advanced computing one, where you will find HPC, AI, quantum, big data, and edge computing. So we belong to this company. It will be not a big change because we are still doing the combination between our own IP. The R&D, the factory remained with Eviden. The business about what you know from HPC, AI, and quantum from Atos is moving to Eviden, so no change for you, same numbers of people, maybe a little bit more, by the way. We are recruiting, so if anyone is applying. But we are combining the IP that we are developing, but also the IP from our partners, and DDN is a perfect example for that. In summary, Eviden will be 57,000 engineers worldwide. We are the #1 in managed security services. This is mostly the branch called cybersecurity. We are #1 in Europe, #1 in South America, #1 in India in terms of HPC. And we are #2 or 3 worldwide, depends how do you look to the numbers, because there is a kind of a disagreement between the numbers we see and the way they should be implemented. We have a huge amount of people in data analytics, so if you have any request, any concern, we have people really capable to work on that. And again, a company which is developing its own IP does need to have patents, so we have more than 2,100 patents. We are having more than 50,000 certifications, so it's something very important. So Eviden will exist worldwide, but in reality, we are much more here. In US, we have an R&D lab, which is a significant one in Phoenix, but we are a worldwide company. If we want to summarize, what we do is mostly 4 layers. Everybody knows us because we are doing hardware for HPC, AI, and quantum. We have the quantum simulator. We have the supercomputing that everybody knows about, the XH3000, 2000. We do HPD, HPC systems dedicated. We have mid-range HPC also, so standard servers, I mean, we do that. High-speed interconnect from Mellanox, but also from Eviden because we are developing our own network called BXI. But all this hardware is almost nothing if you don't have 2 layers on top of that. And there is the final one, which is the one which is opening the world, but I will come back to that. For the software, we have performance management suite. We have maintenance management suite. We have energy management suite. We have data management suite. So which means that all the system software you need to use your system, we are developing that by our own resources with the software R&D team. But for a year, we are implementing some AI, let's say, features technology. The idea is that today, most of the system software that you are using or seeing are reacting. We want to predict what is going on. So we are working to predict failures. We are working to predict workloads. There is a word that I like. We think it will be very nice if you have an application that you can use a Shazam let's say, application, said, okay, this is what the application is going to do before you start to run it. Then you can predict the workload that you will need. So we are adding some AI embedded HPC software environment on top of our standards tool. Out of the system, if you don't have a good software environment, I mean, you could not make good developments, but we are focusing a lot to increase the user performance by the advanced development software environment that we have with services. We have people dedicated to help you to port the application, to optimize the application, so we can do that. So I will say that the 3 layers are what you should expect from an HPC vendor. But on top of that, something which is unique from our view is that we acquired 2 years ago a company in US called Nimbix. And with those people, they are developing a tool called Jarvis-XE and the HyperHub. We were able to provide flexibility to the user needs. So if you need to extend the capacity, if you need to give much more flexibility in the way they are computing on-premise or outside or fully outside, we have a solution and we can provide as a service. So complete HPC, AI, and quantum portfolio in the industry. Another message that is not well known, but that will show you how much we are, let's say, investing in the HPC, AI, and quantum, that the factory that we do have in Angers will be mostly double. So we were starting to think about how to change that, but from April and February, we started to destroy part of the factory to rebuild one, and you see there the sizing, how we are. So today, this is where we are. We are destroying this one, by the way, and it will be in total this capacity. That will allow us to have more efficiency in the way we are producing, so 30% productivity increase, 30% less maintenance cost, which means a less maintenance cost for us means better price for you at the end. And we will have something which is very important, we think so, today, 30% stock reliability. Today, you know all the shortage and how much you need to wait to get a new system when you start a procurement. We increase the numbers of stock or spare parts that we do have in the factory. We used to call it Industry 4.0, so it's a marketing term, but okay, but it's a modern one. And all of you are invited if you want to see a factory, how they are producing servers, how they are developing, let's say, new kind of technologies. You are invited, you are very much welcome. The key message, why are we working with DDN? So in fact, in our opinion, we are more than a partner, because when we look to when we started to work together, it's more than 20 years ago. It was DDN Bull, then it was DDN Atos, and then it was DDN, and now it's DDN Eviden, by the way. So as you see, they are very, let's say, reliable partners, because whatever we do with the names, they stay with us. We have the large numbers of DDN customer references in HPC simulations. I was looking to Mark when he was speaking about SuperPods. In September 2020, we did the first NVIDIA SuperPod installation in Europe with DDN and NVIDIA together, because DDN was already ready to work with NVIDIA and us about that. By the way, the system was extended in 2022, and we are waiting to see where we will land in the ranking, so it will be announced soon. But why it is a specific partner for us? We signed a specific contract in January 19 with them. The idea behind that was to enhance the collaboration, but not just on the pricing, not just on the sales side, but also on the product, on the software. And we are used to work with them from a long time, but in 19 we decided and we put some steps, some mandatory actions from both of us. And we did some mutual commitments to address all the major European and world accounts, which was something, I mean, challenging for all of us. But we dedicated and they dedicated a specific expert team to work for the customer needs. And in 2018, we got a DDN BDM. Doesn't sound probably something very special for you, but in fact, we have someone, Thierry Paprocki, I don't know where is he should be there. Thierry Paprocki is totally, salut Thierry, I'm probably sure, okay. Thierry is totally dedicated to the Eviden business with you. So this is a clear signal that DDN and Atos decided to invest. In front of that, we have an Eviden storage architect, Sébastien Pierczewski. He's totally dedicated to speak about the storage, and especially with DDN. In Q3 22, the business was increasing. It's true that we saw some problems in terms of installation, about the stabilities and many things, because as all IT, you have always suffering something new. But DDN was offering us to have a dedicated technical account manager. So we have the business side and we have the technical people. One of them is there. And in beginning of 23, we had another one, which means that when we are working with you on a DDN configuration, both company DDN and Eviden try to make the best that the commitments will happen. Surprise can exist, but they will be happening, okay? But another perfect example, Eviden benchmark system are inside the DDN labs. They bought some system from us, and we have a benchmark system from them in Angers in our labs. So I mean, it's clearly a tight collaboration. So again, so many of you are from DDN, thank you for that, but Paul, we are very happy about that, Paul. I will leave the floor to the DKRZ, Meluxina, and Leonardo, but just few words. Those projects were a perfect example how it was good to win together, challenging to install together, but we did it, we succeeded, we got the acceptance. For example, when you look to DKRZ, we started in Q1 21, and we got the acceptance in February 22. They are using DDN for everything. If you look to Meluxina, it's a perfect example of two-step acceptance. We were starting the installation in Q1 21. We got a partial acceptance in November 21, and then in July 22, the final one. So I mean, it's a perfect example that when we need to work together to make the installation done and going where we commit, we can do that, but it's a mutual effort. Leonardo, I mean, number 4 in the top 500. We need to wait, I think it's on the 24th, the IO 500 results. I'm not going to spoil what Cineca will explain to you in a few minutes, but we expect very good result there. But I mean, this is a pure and excellent example about good collaboration between DDN, Eviden, and the customers. So now much better, they will introduce that to you directly. Thank you.